on national, well, actually public television, PBS at 9 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern Time. That's Bill Moyers tomorrow night at 9. Here's the Reverend Wright on how he differs from Senator Obama.
He's a politician, I'm a pastor. We speak to two different audiences. And he says what he has to say as a politician. I say what I have to say as a pastor. Those are two different worlds. I do what I do. He does what politicians do. So that what happened in Philadelphia, where he had to respond to the sound bites, he responded as a politician.
Tucker, your thoughts about that defense of his position there?
You accuse the U.S. government of creating AIDS, and that's what you're saying in your capacity as a pastor? No, you're saying that in your capacity as a nutcase. I mean, there's no explaining that. There's no apologizing for it. It's wrong, and he ought to have the decency to admit it. And I think Barack Obama has left unanswered, and I like Obama, by the way, but he's left unanswered the key question, which was, how could you sit there for 20 years and not say anything? I mean, no one has answered that question. People have shouted down those who've attempted to ask it, but it remains unanswered, and that's a problem.
Yeah. This is his Iraq. This is his Iraq.
This is not helpful at all. And if Barack Obama did not have the stomach to denounce, like fully denounce Jeremiah Wright before this airs, I suspect that will happen very quickly.
Do you have a sense, excuse me, do you have a sense that, now this is again just the traditional way things happen. It's been my experience. My wife and I have the same religion, but where religions tend to differ, the woman tends to have more swag in terms of deciding what church you go to. It's been my experience. Do you think it was really Michelle's choice, that minister, and he's afraid to take it out on? Because she will say, you cannot break with that man. He's our family. He's our family.
It's possible.
There's a reason why he won't break with him.
It's possible, but I also think that there's a psychological element to this that none of us can ever understand. I mean, Barack Obama was abandoned by his father at age 2. He had no man in his life to raise him that looked like him, that was in any way culturally like him. I mean, it's not a good explanation, but I think that there's something there that none of us are ever going to be able to answer as to why he cannot fully denounce this man.
So this is like Jack Kennedy and Joe McCarthy, one of those things, huh?
Yeah.
Family friend you can't break with. Yes, Margaret?
Well, I tried to get my brother not to go to the church we've always gone to, Good Shepherd Church, because I thought that there was a priest in the background who had a problem and wasn't moved. And when he was moved to another parish without anybody saying. But it's very hard to leave a church. However, if my brother were running for president, I would say, get out of that church. The other thing that mystifies me is why Barack Obama, at the ABC debate, didn't have an answer. He's got I mean, each time you can make your answer better, he made his answer worse. And it's not, but here's the thing. Obama never says it's what I believe, not what he believes. And now that I know, I'm leaving.
Okay, let's take a look at some more of the Reverend Jeremiah Wright on Bill Moyers tomorrow night. I think digging the hole deeper, but let's listen.
In the 20 years since you've been his pastor, have you ever heard him repeat any of your controversial statements as his opinion?
No, absolutely not. I don't talk to him about politics. And so here at a political event, he goes out as a politician and says what he has to say as a politician. I continue to be a pastor who speaks to the people of God about the things of God.
What he has to say. He keeps portraying the work of Senator Obama as what is it? How's he as a dodge?
Phony.
What you have to say, yes, Tucker, what you have to say, it's his locution each time. In other words, what I'm saying out there just gets the pews filled. What he has to do is get the voting booths filled.
Exactly.
Tucker,
and what
it sounds like they're both into dodges, like games, you know. We have to play our numbers here.
It's worse than that, and a lot of us who watch Barack Obama a lot assume that he doesn't agree with the Reverend Wright. He seems too decent a guy to agree with the Reverend Wright. But what the Reverend Wright is saying is, in effect, confirming our worst fears, everybody's worst fears. What he's really saying is, you know, Obama agrees with me. Of course he does. But he can't say that for his mainstream audience, so he has to pretend, as politicians do, to distance himself from my remarks. But
weirdly reminded me of Irish streetcar politics.
To say something like
because
that.
A lot of times you'll hear Irish guys, old conservative Irish guys, saying they like these young Irish politicians, they got to be liberals. Oh, he's got to say that.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I really think. You know, like they got this secret agenda.
Way of saying, well, he's lying about it. I mean,
yeah, but they act like politics is just BS.
It's much harder to dispense with a religious person than it is some other kind.
How about when he says, "I say what I have to say"?
Well,
what does he mean? Like including this rabble-rousing thing about how the. I mean, I know there was the history with Tuskegee. It's not like it's never played before that the white government hasn't used use black people for guinea pigs. We know the horrible history of that 70 years ago, whatever, 60 years. But this idea that AIDS was somehow foisted on the ghetto to destroy people by somebody in Washington, some J. Edgar Hoover type, is paranoia, isn't it?
It is. In my opinion, it is paranoia, but I have seen polls that show that 10% of African Americans actually believe this, and I think because of things like the Tuskegee experiment,
maybe because they're preachers who have IQs,
question it.
Keep telling them it's true.
Look, I don't disagree with this. Is very harmful to the Obama campaign, and he's got to find a way to get him.
Maybe too late. I begin to wonder. Let's take a look. The question here, we're doing the politics. Tucker, let's look at the lay of the land, given everything that's happened the last week. It seems to me that Hillary Clinton has proven herself one heck of a good politician, working the neighborhoods of Northeast Philly, where I grew up, becoming a Scranton girl again, working, and it's not just using the fact that she's white and he's black. There's more to it than that. She's made herself the hometown favorite. Let's be honest about it. She's Norma Ray coming out of Pennsylvania.
Well, if you had asked anybody 10 years ago, 3 years ago, could Hillary Clinton, in a race against someone like Barack Obama, get Democrats in the middle, win self-described moderate Democrats by 20 points, win gun owners by more than that, win regular churchgoers by 16 points? In other words, be the candidate with the crossover appeal, the most polarizing politician in the United States. Could she do that? It would be a joke, and yet she's done it. It's actually unbelievable. I'm not celebrating it, but I'm standing back in some awe.
I think people would in a poll would say she's got a GED from somewhere in Scranton. She never went to college.
Yeah.
She's never left home.
Yeah.
She's some Norma Ray character. I think she's done the complete sales, and I commend her for it. This is what politics is, I guess.
I am more a daughter of Pennsylvania than Hillary Clinton, and I couldn't have done it. So
I think it's,
hats off, Hillary.
I mean, she's got the equivalent of a college degree, but she didn't really actually graduate from college, high school rather.
Yeah.
It's really impressive stuff. I mean.
Wellesley never comes up yet.
Wellesley, how dare you? Do a Google search on the word Wellesley in this campaign. It will not come up. Anyway, with the roundtable, back more of the Politics Fix. You're watching Hardball, and we are saluting Hillary Clinton's bona fides.